Hi guys, so I wanted to do a review on all the books I've read this month and the month of, well, last month and the month of September. These are all the books that I either read, tried to read, and dropped, or made it one page and said no. So this is gonna be spoiler central, just an FYI. We're gonna start with the first book, the one that I was excited about. A Spell to Wake the Dead by Nicole Lesbrance? I still don't know how to pronounce her last name. I said Nicole. I keep saying something else. A Spell to Wake the Dead. This is the first book that I read for September, and I don't know how to describe this book outside of I don't know what the fuck I read. That's honestly, I don't know what the fuck I read. No idea. And not in like a, oh, this is too complicated for me to understand. No. This is a book about, it's supposed to be a book about witches. They're not really witches. They call themselves pagan, although in my opinion, it's more Wicca than pagan. It sounded interesting when I read it, like read the description, because I thought it was going to be something different. Like I expected more of a mystery, because the two main characters in this book, Maisie and Nora, find a dead body on a beach. Then Nora finds a second dead body on the beach. I was expecting a mystery from this book, and I didn't get that, which is a disappointing thing, because I really do love mystery novels. But it just went, like, it took me 100 pages to get into this book, first of all. If it takes me 100 pages to get into a book, then there's something wrong with it. But, at the same time, it, like, did a roller coaster and then just went completely straight down and then did like a loop, like, you know those little kiddie roller coasters that you see like at the state fair, where it's like a toddler's like first ever roller coaster and the parents are like, oh, look at them. That's what it felt like if you got to the climax, or got to a climax, and then it just went down and just kept going, but like didn't go back up onto that hill. It just kept like doing one little thing and then just kept going around and around like a merry-go-round. I don't know how to talk about this book without, like, ripping the shreds. Like, at one point, they suddenly bring in, like, Egypt mythology, and I'm like, what the fuck am I reading here? And there's, like, a sacrifice, and, like, sacrifices. And then there's, like, Nora's character is so annoying. I didn't like Nora's character. But, oh my god, I don't, The score is probably, like, right here of what my rating is for this, but no. Which was disappointing, because this was a book that I pre-ordered. Should've waited, but, oh well. On to the next book, which was my 5-star read. My third 5-star read ever in my entire life. That probably says something about my personality. But it's Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie. I love this book so very much. I love it so very, very much. It's about a group of students who are dead. It's not a spoiler. It's literally they're dead. Who go to Blackwood Academy, the legendary school located on the fringes of the afterlife. Once a pupil enters the academy's arched gates, there is no way out, except for the decennial, a once-in-a-decade celebration in which a single worthy student is tested and given a chance. Graduate and join Blackwood's magical elite, or cross over to the magical other side. It's got the trials, it's got rivals to lovers. I wouldn't call it enemies to lovers. Rivals to lovers. It's got straight characters. It's got gay characters. It's got a lesbian character. There's a gay romance, which was fucking surprising because I didn't know that was gonna be in it. And they, Emilio and I forgot his name. Emilio. It's been a while. Emilio. Oh, Olivier. I forgot Olivier. I love Olivier. I love him so very much. He's like my favorite character. He has a kind of sad story. And at one point, I would like to point out, I almost started crying during this book. I don't know what kind of crap Ivy puts in her books, but oh my god, So one plot twist coming, but I didn't see the other plot twist coming. There are several plot twists in this, but like at the very end, with the female main character, one of the female main characters, but with Ren, like I didn't see the twist coming at the very end of first of all, what was going on with August, but like everything that went on with August. But like, oh my god, I started this as soon as I finished Just Velvet Wake to Death. I had to put it down for like a day or two because I had to process how horrible Just Velvet Wake to Death was for me. And then once I finally got back into this, I couldn't put it down. I fell in love with the story. I love the storyline. I love that we are like basically Reapers, and like the whole the tagline on this is "Some fates are worse than death." That is very much correct for this book. I am never gonna stop talking about this book. This is so far my favorite read of 2025, next to Arcana Academy. 5 stars. 5 stars. Love this book. Love this book. I cannot wait for the second book. The sequel. Summer 2026 cannot come. Start off. I feel sorry for anyone who's reading the subtitles for this because I good luck. The next book I read was The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. I'm just going to read you the tagline that comes with this. It says, "The gods love to play with us mere mortals, and every 100 years we let them." I read this because one of my, people that I watch on Instagram on my personal account, was reading this, and she was kind of freaking out about it, so I was like, okay, I trust your logic. This was a very quick read, by the way. Despite it being over almost 600 pages, pretty sure. No, 509 pages with 100 and something pages, chapters. What? That's the epilogue. That's not helpful. There's over 100 chapters in this thing. Can't remember how many chapters. 112. I think there's 112, maybe 113 at this prologue. There's preface. Okay. 113 chapters, 509 pages. This is a very quick read. This does have spice. I'm just going to warn you right now. This does have spice. There's a tongue involved. A tongue goes somewhere. The word tendrils is used somewhere in this book. But this is all about Lucifer. Not Lucifer. Hades. Why did you say Lucifer? Hades. He picks a mortal to be the person for the crucible. And they have a very interesting romance with tendrils and tongues involved. But I just want to read you the last line of the very last chapter. It's the one that got me so interested in this book and why I pre-ordered the second book. This is what the last line is. We are so fucked. I'm not kidding. That is the last line. And without going much into this book outside of holy shit, wasn't expecting like half the shit that went on in this book. This book, there were some things in it I just was like, okay, what is going on? My cat's here. Hi, Sam. Go, come on. Stay with him. There are some things I went, what the fuck, but like, what the fuck am I reading kind of thing. Again, it's like, scores here. But I really actually like this because I don't really read a lot of Greek mythology books, or renditions of it. Like, I wasn't a Percy Jackson girl. To be completely honest, I didn't even really like Percy Jackson. Same way I didn't like Hunger Games either. Or really Twilight. But like, this gave me a really cool understanding. And then some of the characters in it were a little questionable. Some of the chapters are extremely short. Like, you read it, it's like, oh wait, what? But I really enjoyed this one. Cannot wait for the second book because I really want to see how Hades decides to burn the entire Olympia to the ground. Which technically is kind of that is a spoiler, that one of the characters sees that Hades is planning on burning Olympia to the ground. Because of something that happens in the very end of the book, which I'm not going to spoil that much of the book for you. But there are lots of games of trials in this. There is definitely, I don't know, I can't say it's enemies to lovers, really. It's more of, I hate you, I like you, the kind of thing. Or I hate you, I'm falling for you, kind of thing, in my opinion. But, here, I like the back. She'll fight for her life, for the god of death. I liked this book. I thought it was really fun. It was an easy read, which is a fun thing sometimes, to just pick up a book and go, yeah, this was easy to read. Then we have the first dropped book of my TBR for September, which really makes me sad because I really wanted to like this book, but I can't. I don't know if I'll come back to it eventually, but right now, no. And it is The Empire of Shadows by Jacqueline Benson. I wanted to like this book so very, very much. I wanted to so much. I wanted to do this because literally this is what it says. Empire of Shadows is the first in the Jacqueline Benson smart, swashbuckling raiders of the Arcana series. Read it now and dive into this rip-roaring historical fantasy adventure, perfect for fans of Romancing the Stone and the Mummy. Now, I didn't know what the fuck the Romancing the Stone was. It is apparently another kind of like mummy-esque, not really, movie of a person who is looking for something, falls in love with a woman, everything. But because it said of the Mummy, I really, 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 really wanted to like this. But for some, like, I kid you not, like, the prologue is 9 pages long. 9 pages long. And I don't mind, like, blocks and blocks of text. I really don't. Like, I really do like info dumping, and talking about it. I did something that don't recommend you do. Do not do this. Is skip the prologue. Don't skip a prologue. Don't skip a preface. Don't skip the epilogue. Like, don't skip those pages. Why are you skipping those pages, you idiots? But I decided, because I was struggling to get through the prologue, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the first chapter and read read a page or two. Because that was what my mom used to do as well. If there was a book that she couldn't get into right away, she would go to the first chapter to see if maybe, like, okay, if I struggle through the prologue or whatever this is and go to the next chapter, maybe I will, like, no. I tried reading the first, like, 3 pages, and I just was like, nope, not for me. Not for me. And I, again, really wanted to like this. I really did. I love The Mummy. I love, like, books like this. Like, I love, like heist and, like, treasure hunting and stuff like that. I love the movies. I love books like that. Not this one. I feel bad because I know this is, like, an indie author, and I'm saying this too. But no, I'm sorry, I couldn't get into this, and I dropped it very quickly. Let's go on to the next book I dropped, which was Love at Second Sight by F.T. Lukens. I tried. I got, like, to, I think, like, chapter 6, I think. I read, like, yeah, I think I got to, like, chapter 5 or 6. And I don't know if it's just because it just feels a little too juvenile for me, or what have you. I just could not get into this book. Now, I don't usually look at the reviews. Like, I don't really go on Goodreads. I don't have a Goodreads. I don't really like Goodreads. But I looked up reviews on this, which was a mistake in my opinion. But a lot of people were saying that this was their weakest novel so far in the novels they have written. Which they do go by they, them. At least I think they do. That might be another author. But I don't know if I don't even know if they actually say their pronouns. Yeah, they do. So people were saying this was their weakest, like, novel, and I got, like, I may have only gotten, like, a couple chapters in, but it just didn't connect with me, which is really weird because I read MM novels a lot. I watch PL, like, I watch Thai, Japanese, Chinese, Korean, like, boys love dramas and stuff like that. I've, like, read manhwas of BLs. Like, I read some pretty, like, questionable things that some people may cancel me for, but I thought I've read, like, novels for, like, MM and WW stuff before. I just thought I'd like this because I like the description of it. It's like, being a seer, this wasn't what I wanted. This wasn't me, or at least not the version of me I'd known for the last 15 years. Was it? I experienced 2 glimpses, and one had come true, so I was really clairvoyant. Was that who or what I was supposed to be now? Like, it just sounds interesting, and, like, it's, about, like, he sees a murder happen, and I thought it would just be really cool, and I couldn't get into it. I feel bad, but, like, at the same time, you're not gonna like all the books that, you see online or in store or that Book Talk and Bookstagram, like, recommends you. Although no one recommended that to me, I saw it at my local Walmart and went, oh, that looks pretty. Now on to a book that I actually did finish. Kill Her Twice by Stacey Lee. I picked this up because I saw it earlier this year, back in like May, I think. I don't know when the paperback came out. Yeah, paperback came out this year, but I think this came out like last year. Yeah, the cover of this came out last year. The paperback came out this year. I saw it as the paperback. Now going into this, I knew it was historical fiction. I questioned. I hate. I don't really like historical fiction, and by that I mean like Renaissance era, like Bridgerton. Trying to think of other things that are historical fiction like that. I don't really like regal stuff like that. I do like when it's noir. This is noir. This is 100% noir. I love noir. A lot of people do not know that about me. I love noir. I grew up in black and white films, so a lot of black and white films were noir. But this takes place in Los Angeles in 1932, which I hate that I have to say that's historical now, as someone who was born in 1983. But it's about a Chinese woman who is murdered. And her friends decide they're going to solve her murder before she is buried. They do so. I will say that. And I will say, I didn't guess who the murderer was. I honestly thought it was someone else, completely honest. I thought it was going to be Wallace. Wallace just seemed really strange to me. Maybe it was just the writing of Wallace. But he just kind of seemed like kind of strange to me a little bit. No, the reason this didn't get a 4.5, like it was in the beginning, is because there was one part in this that made me mad. And it was at the very end. Mr. Doctor. The doctor in this. Oh my god, I liked him so much, and then Stacy goes and ruins it for me. Thank you very much, Stacy. Thank you. Because I really wanted him with Gemma. That doesn't happen in this. Although I preferred the Doctor and Gemma than I did with May and Wallace, but that's beyond the point. Because I really actually enjoyed it, and once you get to like, it's, again, this is noir, so it is a little slow in the beginning. But like once I got really into it, I couldn't put it down. Like I think this was another book that I stayed up until like 2 in the morning to finish. The same way I did with the games Gods Play and Immortal Consequences. Immortal Consequences, I talked about that on my IG. But I really enjoy this one. So if you're looking for a good noir or whodunit mystery novel, this one's a good one. I might have to check out the other things that she's done to see what they are. I know there's one in like the beginning of this is like she has got like a couple other historical fiction books. I don't know if they're mysteries, but and then the last book that I dropped, The Confidence Games. I got halfway through this book and I got bored. That's the only reason why I dropped it, is because I got bored. I legitimately got bored. This one, I picked this up because it just looked interesting. It is 2 female con artists must pull off the ultimate heist in this rollicking caper from a dazzling new voice. That doesn't really tell you much about the story. But basically, it's about 2 women who decide to reinvent themselves and create, like, a new lives for themselves. However, one of the characters gets kidnapped, and the other one has to steal a priceless artifact, or a priceless bracelet. I think it's a bracelet or a necklace, something like that. But it's a priceless piece of jewelry, and basically sell it on the black market. In order to save her friends and make sure their lives don't get ruined. And it sounds very interesting, right? It gets interesting, and then all of a sudden it just kind of, like, I legitimately got to like chapter 15, or chapter 16. So I read 150 pages of this, and this is a short book. Like, this is only like 278 pages. So, like, I got halfway through the book. But I was looking at it and just went, I don't want to read this anymore. Which sounds so bad. But I was like, I can't read this anymore. Like, it just doesn't, it doesn't interest me anymore. So I, after I said to drop it, decided to read the final chapter. And found out who the big bad was. No offense. Shitty bit bad. It's one of those cases of where you introduce a character that you've never really, that you all of a sudden just happened to introduce. And you go, is that character going to be important, or is that just a character to be a character? No. He's introduced, not even really introduced, he's talked about, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, by the way, yeah, this character is this is the big bad. I'm like, oh, okay, no, okay, and like I found out like a couple other things from the reading of the final chapter, because sometimes I do that. If I drop a book, I sometimes go to like the last chapter just to see like if I missed like something interesting. Didn't really miss much from this, unfortunately, so don't really recommend this one unless you. I hate to say it feels campy, but it kind of does have that campy feel to it, which is annoying. Because I'm not the biggest fan of campy. Which usually campy is only used for like horror films, but this has like a campy feel to it. It is described as like an Ocean's like 11 feel to it. Now, I've never seen any of the Ocean's films. I really probably should, because I think I'd really enjoy them, because I do love heist movies. From what I know about Ocean's, this doesn't sound anything like Ocean's. I'm sorry. Like, this sounds nothing like an Ocean's film. But those are all my books that I read for September. 4 of them. Technically 4. Finished 4. Technically read 7. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys with hopefully more bookish content. So, bye.